Well, boys, today is tomorrow, and Denim's Frogan and his Casey Tron are back in the news because obviously we got some things to talk about here. All right, boys. So in one of the last videos that I talked about